It was a warm summer evening in Honolulu, August 20th, 1994. The Neo-Blastile Center was filled with the smell of popcorn, the sound of chattering families, and the restless energy of a crowd waiting for the circus to begin. Among the performers backstage was Tyke, a 20-year-old African bush elephant from Mozambique. She was huge, powerful, and to many a gentle giant. But behind her deep, dark eyes was a lifetime of pain no one in that audience could see. Tyke's story didn't begin in Hawaii. She was born in the wild plains of Mozambique, where the air was thick with the scent of grass and rain, where her family roamed free. But when she was young, men came with trucks and guns. Her herds scattered in terror. Tyke was taken from her mother, loaded into a crate, and shipped across the ocean. She never saw her family again. For years, she was trained to perform. She was beaten when she disobeyed, prodded with bullhooks, and forced to learn tricks that made crowds cheer but made her heart ache. She learned to balance on stools, carry people on her back, even smile on command. But inside, Tyke never forgot the freedom of the wild and never forgave the humans who took it away. One of those humans was Alan Campbell. Born in Jacksonville, Florida, Alan had been fascinated by animals since he was a boy. In his 20s, he became an elephant trainer, working at zoos and eventually with traveling circuses. To outsiders, he was experienced, confident, and fearless around the giants he worked with. But behind the scenes, Alan had a reputation, not for kindness, but for toughness. Former colleagues called him a punishment-type trainer. Elephants learned quickly around him, because if they didn't, the lessons could be harsh. By 1994, Alan was Tyke's main trainer. She had already been in trouble before, 3 separate incidents in Pennsylvania, North Dakota, and Canada, where she tried to escape during performances. Each time she was captured, brought back, and made to work again. Those who knew her say she was growing more unpredictable, more restless. But the show had to go on. That day in Honolulu, the big top lights glowed and the music played. Tyke was brought into the ring. The crowd clapped and children pointed with wide eyes. Alan stood by her side, commanding her movements. But something in Tyke snapped. Maybe it was a sound, a smell, or just the boiling point of years of fear and rage. Without warning, she turned on Alan. The crowd gasped. She slammed him to the ground, her massive trunk wrapping around him, her tusks lashing forward. Screams erupted in the stands. People leapt from their seats, children crying, parents dragging them toward the exits. Tyke's groomer, Dallas Beckwith, rushed in to help and was thrown aside, injured. In a matter of seconds, the performance had turned into chaos. Alan Campbell, the man who had spent years in the ring, lay motionless. Tyke's eyes were wild, her ears flaring, her chest heaving. Then she did something no one expected. She ran. She crashed through the arena doors, bursting into the bright Hawaiian afternoon. Cars screeched to a halt. Pedestrians froze in shock as a full-grown elephant charged down the streets of Kakahako. For the next half hour, Honolulu was a city under siege. Tyke smashed parked cars, trampled curbs, and chased terrified people. Police scrambled, trying to corner her without getting too close. Then came the decision no one wanted to make. Officers opened fire. The first shots rang out, but Tyke kept moving. More bullets followed. In total, 87 rounds were fired. Finally, the giant collapsed onto the pavement, her massive body shuddering before falling still. Alan Campbell was pronounced dead. Dallas Beckwith survived his injuries. Tyke died from massive nerve damage and bleeding in the brain. And the crowd that had come for an afternoon of fun went home with nightmares they would never forget. The investigation that followed uncovered years of abuse allegations in the circus world. Alan himself had cocaine and alcohol in his system at the time of his death. Tyke's past, the escapes, the aggression, the warnings, painted a picture of an animal pushed beyond her limits. In the years after, Tyke's story became a symbol. Hawaii eventually banned exotic animal performances. Documentaries, articles, and memorials kept her memory alive, not just as the elephant who killed her trainer, but as a living being who had suffered in silence until she couldn't anymore. Today, a plaque in Honolulu bears her name. Some see her as a killer, others see her as a victim, but all agree on one thing: August 20th, 1994, was the day the circus in Honolulu's changed forever.